Hi, Triabunna District School. My name is Vishnu Prahalad, and I study wetlands like the one behind me. And I look at how they're affected by climate change and sea level rise. So if you want to understand what happens to land if we add more and more salt water, a simple thing to do is to identify a spot in your lawn and mix some salt in the water and pour it in that area and see what happens. Essentially, you'll find that the lawn dies back because the plants that are occupying the lawn are not suited for flooding by seawater. Okay, so now if you want to understand this from the point of view of our coastal areas, I'll take you to a place called Triabunna to show you how this works. This is Triabunna here in list map. So if you want to look at how sea level rise and flooding will affect these areas, you can use one of these layers and you can go in and you can see here that these areas shown in blue, dark blue, are the areas that are likely to be flooded now under a high tide event or a storm event. And these areas in light blue are the areas that are likely to be flooded with 10, 20, 30 years time with increasing sea level rise. So if you then take off that layer and look closely, what you can see is these areas and the dark blue are already wetlands, and these areas and the light blue polygon, if you remember from before, are starting to become wetlands because the lawn, as I had mentioned before, is dying back because it can't withstand seawater flooding, which has got higher salt content. So instead of the lawn grass, we are seeing a replacement by more salt tolerant vegetation type, as in this case, our salt marsh plants. So the simple answer to the question is what happens to the land due to rise in water, especially seawater, is that the vegetation communities would change. You'll see some of your terrestrial plants, which are adapted to a particular environment with low salt content. They'll die back and make way for plants that are more tolerant to seawater flooding. Thank you, guys. See you then.